Hey guys, Leafy here. No, in all seriousness, I'm here to tell you another story. So, this one's gonna be about the time my friend bring drugs to school, or quote unquote drugs to school in middle school. Now, to me, this was one of the funniest shit that ever happened in my life because the amount of. This kid was stupid. I mean, like, don't ever do this in school, please. You'll get suspended like he did, or maybe even worse, kicked out, depending on what school you go to. Maybe a private school, you know, other stuff like that. But anyways, don't do it. So, I'm on the bus, and keep in mind, I wasn't texted about this, I wasn't contacted about this, because, you know, that's what friends do. But he never told me about this, and I'm sitting on the bus next to him, and he goes, "Yo, look what I have," and he pulls out this small flour bag, and I'm like, "What is that?" And he goes, "It's this flour," and I'm like, "Well, why do you have it?" And then he's like, "I'm gonna pretend that it's cocaine." Now, any normal person, literally your neighbor, your dog, anyone knows that you shouldn't bring that to school and act like it's cocaine or any sort of drug. But, you know, him being him, and we're in 7th grade, we're gonna be idiots. We don't have a class together until, I believe it was 5th period. And by the time I get to 5th period, he's not there. And then I asked the teacher where he's at, and then he's like, "Oh, he's in the principal's office, or the guidance office." And then I'm like, well, here we go. So, and his stuff is still there because he left previously in the class. So right when he got there, the teacher was probably like, "Hey, you need to go there." I'm on my way to the principal's office, bringing my friend's stuff over there. And so I'm going to the principal's office, and this felt like the shortest walk because in my school, like, the principal's office was like on every floor, or the guidance office was on every floor. There was 3 floors on the main building. So I'm walking towards the guidance office on the middle floor, and I walk in, and who do I see sitting in a chair next to the principal? Yep, that's right. He's sitting there, and he's printing a big sheet of paper that says, "You've been suspended, and if you come on school property, then you're gonna be trespassing." So I'm looking at him, and I just drop his stuff off, and I just leave. I immediately just leave because I have no idea what's going on. And like I said in my last story, I was like the innocent kid. Like, he was like the bad kid, I was the innocent kid. So if he did something wrong, I had to like call his mom or something like that. I had to like go to his house and make sure he's okay and all that. But anyways, so throughout the day, like, because we were best friends in middle school, so throughout the day I'm worrying and all that. And he gets on the bus, and then I'm like, "Yo, so what happened?" And I'm trying not to laugh because, dude, it was so stupid. Like, please don't ever do this. But I'm laughing and all that, and I'm like, "Yo, so what happened?" And he's like, well, you see, my mom's gonna kill me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can tell, because she doesn't want her kid going around acting like a drug dealer with a bag of flour." So he goes, "I have no idea what to do. Like, what do I need to do? I have nowhere to go because I'm scared." And then I'm like, "You know that fort?" And this is for another story. You know that bamboo fort that we have? Yeah, just go there. And then he's like, "Well, that's a good idea. Or I can just go to the lake and just chill out for an hour and just wait there, and then come back after like an hour and then confront my mom." And I was like, "Well, you do you, but I'm not going to be involved." And then he's like, okay, fine. "But I have one more thing to tell you." And he goes, and I go, "What?" He said, "The police are coming to my house." And I'm like, "Why?" And he said, "Well, they think that I'm under the use of drugs, so they're gonna search my house." And I'm like, "Well, whose fault is that?" And I'm like, I'm over here trying not to laugh. Like, I'm trying to be supportive and all that, and then he says that, and I'm over here dying. But anyways, he's like worrying and all that, and I'm like, "Dude, you might as well just get over it and just go, because the longer you wait, the more you're gonna like suffer, because you're gonna be like overthinking, paranoid, you know what I mean?" So next day he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, I don't read, but since there's not even a TV in my room, I have to read, and I'll never take electronics for granted, ever again. And after this, I'm not gonna do this ever again." And I'm like, "Well, you see, that's kind of a life lesson. I mean, I'm not trying to be a parent here, but, you know, don't be stupid and bringing a bag of flour to school acting like it's cocaine." And keep in mind that he was one of the cool kids, quote unquote cool kids. But then again, this was in middle school, so I don't think anyone really cared about you until high school and college. But anyways, so we're on the bus, and keep in mind, this is like a 15-minute bus ride. This is not including the stops, this is just driving. But on every stop, he sees the kids getting off the bus, and he's like, dang, dude, I'm gonna have to do that in a few minutes here. And I'm like, yeah, well, you wouldn't have to worry about it if you weren't being stupid like that. And then he punches my arm, and I will never forget the look on his face that he gives me after me saying that, because he's so concerned and worried. And I'm like, well, like, this isn't my fault, dude. Like, but his stop is here, and the bus driver's driving. He stops the bus, and then I just look at him, and he looks back at me, and I'm like, well, this is your stop. And then he's like, yeah, I know, I'm getting off. And I'm like, okay, well, if you still happen to have your phone, just text me about it. He's like, fine. And then he gets off the bus, and he starts walking away. And then right when he gets off, I start bursting out laughing, because, like, it's funny to see your friend go through, like, not struggles, but, like, seeing that they've done something stupid. But, I'm thinking in my head, like, he'll get away with it, because, his parents are, like, chill and all that, because I've known his parents for, like, a year or two now. So I'm like, okay, well, his parents probably won't care that much. I mean, we'll see what happens, though. So later that night, I'm just playing games and all that, playing some CSGO, playing some... what did I play back then? I think I played Minecraft back then. Oh god, shout out to Minecraft. But anyways, I'm sitting here playing Minecraft, and then I'm on Snapchat, checking my feed, going through my story, going through everyone else's stories, like making sure everything's alright, and then I come across him. Now, we're just gonna call him Matt. But anyways, I come across Matt's, and he says, well, I won't be able to have my phone for a while now, guys. Sorry, I won't be able to respond. And then I'm like, yeah, that's his mom. The only reason why I say it's his mom is because whenever he gets in trouble with his dad, he doesn't get his phone taken away. So I'm like, okay, well, if he got in that much trouble, his mom's pissed at him, because his mom is really lenient on him. Trust me, she's really lenient on him through the shit I've seen him do. But anyways, so tomorrow, next day rolls around, the buses come around on my stop, and he looks at me, and I'm like, so how'd it go? And then he's like, well, I don't have my phone, I don't have my iPad, I don't have my TV, I don't have my PS3. Dude, I'm gonna be so bored for like the next 3 months or more. I don't even know what to do. And then I'm like, well, what have you been doing ever since? And then he's like, well, I've had to pull out a book, and I don't ever read. Ever. And I'm like, yeah, I know you don't read, because if you would have read, you would have known how to do this shit. And then he just looks at me again, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I have to crack jokes. I'm your best friend. Like, cut me some slack. Now, I know a lot of you were thinking, well, if he got suspended, how is he on the bus? How is he going to school? Okay, so what my school did is, whenever you got a referral, a detention, or a suspension, you would always have to sign it, or your parent would have to come in and sign it. But the next day after you got that day, or the day you got it, you had to come in next day with your mom or dad. And his mom was writing separately. And they had to go and sign it together in the office, which I can imagine is one of the most awkward and difficult times that my friend had to go through, because that's just... knowing you fucked up that badly, and your mom knows about it, especially in middle school, because in middle school, like, they're, like, really, like, hardcore strict on you. Well, at least my parents were. And I was like, well, that's gonna be awkward. And he goes, wish me luck. And then he slowly walks off the bus and goes to the principal's office. Moral of the story here, don't be stupid and bring a bag of flour to school and act like it's cocaine or any sort of drug. Don't even do drugs in general, come on now. But I hope you guys like these. Like, this is a new series. I don't know if you guys even like these stories. But just tell me in the comments below. I already know I set up a poll earlier. saying, would you do stories or should I do this? I just got a PC and I'm building it, and right now it's not really built, so I can't really do Rainbow Six Siege video right now. So just be prepared for that. That's coming on later on. But yeah, stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.